Hi everybody, this is Tracy. In the spirit of sharing the good and the bad of chronic illness and what that means on a day-to-day, I'm doing this video because today is not a good day. I'm not in a good place mentally or physically. I'm exhausted. I'm emotional. Just kind of hit that brick wall of I can't and I've got to stop and rest and regroup. And this is usually where I withdraw. I drop off of social media. I don't stay in touch with family. I don't answer text messages. I don't answer the phone. I'm in my room and I don't communicate. And this is part of my mental illness with bipolar and general anxiety disorder. And when you have mental illness, it can be worse for me than all of my chronic health issues combined. And if you go to my bio or whatever and click the link to my website, there's a link there that lists all of my chronic health conditions. I think there's like 29 different things that I deal with. So I have a lot of physical stuff, things that cause pain and limit my mobility and just a whole boatload of stuff. And so when I'm dealing with that level of physical stuff that's a lot and overwhelming, if the mental can be worse than that, it's bad. And so when I have a day when my mental health is not good and my physical health is also not good, it's just not a good day. And today is one of those days. And I had posted a poll here on my Twitter profile a couple days ago asking how you guys preferred to get content. Did you want it video, blog posts, live streams, what? The majority wanted video. I don't mind doing video, but for me, I don't do it because I look like this. 99.9% of the time, this is what I look like. I'm tired. I'm in bed. I'm not feeling well. And there's just something inside of me that's like, well, if you're going to go on video, you need to look XYZ. And I like to look nice and done and made up. I love to do makeup. I love to do my hair. I like, I'm a girly girl. I like those things. But unfortunately, my day-to-day, that's not a reality. It's not something that I choose to use my limited energy on doing those things because it's exhausting. So I'm just sharing with you, a lot of my days look like this. And it's difficult, and I appreciate when people reach out and ask how I'm doing. I appreciate that they understand that if I'm not responding or my normal, jovial, happy, humorous self that I like to be, that I prefer to be, sometimes I'm that way when I'm in a manic state. I can go the very opposite extreme and just, probably due to my recent closet reorganization and stuff like that, was really more of a manic state where I was, really high and running around doing things, and then I crash hard, and this is the result of that. Glad I got the stuff done, but there's a consequence when I do that. So I appreciate when everybody reaches out. They understand that when I don't respond, it's not personal. And just so you are aware that many people with chronic illness and mental illness, this is the stuff that our lives are made of. We're sometimes in moment by moment. I've said before that mental illness is, you can be doing fine 1 minute, and then it's almost as if there is a switch that is flipped and the next minute you're not. I don't know how to explain that, and I'm not sure why that happens, but literally that's like what happens. It's just like boom, something's been flipped, you hit a brick wall, and that's it. You're done. I for years had the same thing happen with my migraines. Now I have a migraine 24/7. I have a migraine now. I have a migraine every minute of every day of every year, and I have for the last 4 years. Prior to that, for the last 43 years, I've had chronic migraines. It's genetic, it's inherited. Multiple people in my family have migraines on both my mom and my dad's side. So, migraines has been it was my very first chronic health condition, continues to be a horrible thing to deal with. I'm now intractable status migrainous with aura. No treatments work. Nothing stops it. Nothing prevents it. I just deal with it. And do not message me. I have tried absolutely everything, and don't tell me after 42 years, try this essential oil or yoga. I'm liable to just smack the crap out of you and block you. So don't go there. But my point is that before my migraines were nonstop, I would be fine, and all of a sudden it was just like somebody flipped a switch and boom, there was the pain, and it was excruciating. It wasn't just a gradual, oh, I'm getting a headache. It was, I'm okay, and then boom, I'm not okay, and I'm throwing up, and I can't stand light, sound, smell, and I still, because my migraine disease has progressed, and yes, that's what my neurologist said, is I have a progression of my migraine disease that mimics MS symptoms. It literally mimics multiple sclerosis symptoms. My mom has MS. Twice I've had neurologists think that I had MS, and it all boils back to aura symptoms of MS includes not just vision, but balance and gait and cognitive issues and all of that sort of thing. But my migraines kind of did the same thing as my mental health. It was just like 1 minute I'm fine, then I'm not. Well, now my migraines don't go away, which absolutely does not help with the mental illness part. When you've got pain in your head all the time, and balance and dizziness and cognitive issues, which also come along with fibromyalgia, which I have, chronic fatigue syndrome, which I have, and numerous other things that I have, rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis. I have severe osteoporosis in my spine. You just go down the list. There's quite a few things that I have that cause daily pain. And when any one of those conditions flares up, it also impacts my mental health. So my mental health may have been relatively okay, and then I get a flare in something, and then it throws, if you can call it a balance, you can kind of juggle things if they're kind of balanced. But if one of the things gets into a flare or is worse, whether it's mental health or physical health, it tips everything, and then I go from I can manage this and I'm okay to I'm not okay. So that's how we got to where I am today. So just trying to make you aware, since today is International Persons with Disabilities Day or something, which is sad that there needs to be a day, but there definitely does need to be a day. And I'm one of those people. So anyway, I just wanted to share with you a little bit, and I'm not the only person that deals with this, with chronic illness. It's very, very, very common, but because I technically look okay, people don't realize how ill that I really am, how disabled I really am, because I can put on hair and makeup and I look fine. but outside does not reflect inside. And when you stop and think about it, everybody goes, well, you look fine, you can't be ill. It's like, how many chronic health conditions can you actually see? How many? Do you see cancer? Do you see cystic fibrosis? There's so many chronic health conditions, serious chronic health conditions. Everything's going on inside. I guess if you were, like paralyzed or paraplegic or something, maybe like cerebral palsy or even MS, when it gets to a certain stage, you can see the physical outward manifestations of what's going on inside, in the brain, in the body, whatever. But not all chronic health conditions, have those same strikingly obvious outward symptoms. But if you see me trying to walk very far or stand very far or do too much, you would absolutely see the effects of my chronic illness conditions. And that's true for everybody. I mean, look at me today. It's like, if I don't look like death warmed over, I don't know who does. It's like it's written in my face. When you come across somebody with chronic illness, look in their eyes, look at their face, look at their body language. It's like, if you pay attention, no chronic illness is really invisible. It's just not obvious to those who don't pay attention. It's just not necessarily quite as in your face. But if you pay attention to people that you know, you love, even strangers, you can tell when somebody's sad or they're having a bad day. It's the same way with a chronic illness. There are signs, sometimes more subtle, and sometimes people with a chronic illness like to hide it, but it's still there. So on this International Day of Persons with Disabilities, keep that in mind whenever you come across somebody, or if you know somebody with chronic illness. Ask them how they're doing. Watch them, look at them, really look at them and pay attention. You can usually tell. But ask them how they're doing. Ask them, what can you do for them to make their life easier? Just let them sit and talk about it. Because most people just don't want to be bothered. You become a nuisance and an inconvenience. It's sad when your chronic illness becomes an inconvenience to other people, and then they don't want to hang around with you anymore. It's like, well, imagine how inconvenient it is for me, But we need people in our lives that care, that genuinely care. Sometimes we just need to express and vent, and we're frustrated with our health care. We're frustrated that, the things that we wanted to do in life and the plans and goals that we had have been taken away from us. And now we have to try to find our new normal and either give up on certain things that we planned or wanted to do and find new things, or try to maneuver and find a way to get those other dreams and things done in a different way. Just kind of depends on the circumstances. So anyway, reach out to someone with chronic illness. Let them know you care. Think about, the ways that you can make a positive impact on somebody's lives who has chronic illness. And if you're one of those people, reach out to me. I'm all about building community and connecting with other people in similar circumstances so that we know that we're not alone. And that's really what we need. So anyway, that's my horrible, terrible, no good, awful, rotten day. I've had worse days. Hopefully I don't get any worse than this. And hopefully tomorrow will be better. Anyway, thanks. Talk to you later.